All right, folks, so we'd like to give a very warm welcome to Jonathan to the Kasten booth. Thank you very much, and let Jonathan take it away. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm expecting it's going to be interesting for you, even if you're here for the bag. Maybe you're going to learn something, okay? I'm the head of cloud native infrastructure for Capgemini. Capgemini, it's one of the hugest service provider globally. We are more 300,000 people globally, okay? And we are based in France. The headquarters is in France, but we operate everywhere in the world, okay? And in France, I'm heading every question about Kubernetes for the group. And we are around 36,000 people just in France, just to let you know. First, things to understand and what is really important, it's a cloud is a multiverse. When you're thinking about cloud computing, what you would like to do is to do exactly the same thing for everyone. And each of you will have to have your own experience. And we have that for Netflix, we have that for the video, the gaming, and we're doing exactly the same thing for our client today. And what's really important to understand, what we try to do is to make each client unique, but leveraging exactly the same technologies. In fact, when we're talking about IT, I spent some years in Canada, I work everywhere, and we always using the same technology. And today, when we're talking about, sorry, that's in French, this one, but when we're talking about how you could integrate and modernize and do this multiverse today, Kubernetes and containers, that's the easiest way to start. Honestly, I've been working for more than 20 years on open source software and Linux, and for the last 7 years with Kubernetes. And today, it's always the same thing. If you would like to modernize your application, moving faster and so on, you leverage in containers. And it's pretty easy. I know it's straightforward for you because you're here, but as I mentioned all the time with my clients, it's because it's standards. And containers is not about new tech only. It's a standard for containers. It's a standard to modernize and to manage your workload with Kubernetes. On my side, I've been working on DevOps for the last 12 years, 11 years on the public cloud, and that's the first time. And with Kubernetes, we have a tool, we could do everything. And one of the most biggest parts we have today with Red Hat, we're working with Veeam and Kasten and Red Hat and another company on reducing carbon footprint. Today, we have an engagement in Capgemini to reduce by 25% the IT impact of our clients globally. That's why on each time, for each client, we have to invest ourselves and to say how we could help you to reduce your footprint. And to do so, we're pushing FinOps and we're pushing containers to do that. We do have some numbers. And most of the time today, this is based on multi-years of experience with Kubernetes and with clients in production. Most of the time, we have 3 different questions when we're talking about containers. First, it's IT modernization. It's just, I would like to move, but not so far. The second one, we would like to move to AWS, to Azure or GCP, but we don't know how to start. And the last one, we would like starting from scratch. This never happened. You know, we have 20% or less than 10% of our clients, they would like to start from scratch. But most of the time, they would like to modernize their IT. They would like to reduce the costs, saving money and time, and that's it. And when we're talking about that, we're talking about program with 1,000 containers and 1,000, you know. Yeah, it's, if you go there and you go this way. And FinOps is really interesting because on all the market, they're all explaining for you how I'm going to save money and time, how I could go further on this side. And look at this FinOps advice. If you would like to reduce your costs, you have to shut down your VMs during the weekend. That's a joke. It's not a production-ready stuff. If you already been in production, you not shut down a VM on Friday and open up on Monday, except if you really trust in God, in any God you could have, because you need trust. And you need faith if you would like to do that. But you could do that with containers. And most of the time, FinOps, you can achieve this only with containers. As I mentioned, the first target we have today, it's carbon footprint. That's what our client is waiting for. And with containers, we could go really far with that. We could expect really saving time and money. And when you look at this for 1 or 2 cluster is okay, but look at this for when you have to manage 1,000 and 1,000 VMs. If you could have a program where you're going to say, and we engage ourselves, I mean, we say to our clients, we're starting the project, you have 5,000 VMs. At the end of the project, you're going to have 1,000 because you're leveraging containers. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. And we expected on, we try to understand with the client on which level we're going to work on modernization and leveraging Kubernetes and containers. Sorry, but that's a tool. Okay, DevOps, another tools. You have just JFrog there, you know. Apps complexity, this is the main gate. This is where you're going to have to focus most. And most of the time, we're taking those different elements and we try to calculate with them how they could expect to save and how faster they're going to go in production on that. What the biggest issue I have today, I like to say I'm a psychologist today. You know, I'm not a technical guy, I'm CTO, but I'm not CTO. I'm a psychologist because most of the time I try to sit with people, they don't understand each other. DevOps people, they say I'm DevOps, but I'm dev. Another say I'm DevOps, but I'm ops, and so on. And we try to work together on thinking about this part particularly. What is going to be my job tomorrow? What I'm going to do? What kind of certification I need? How I could expect to change my career? Because we are 10,000 here, but how many thousand people we have in IT in Europe? Okay, I don't know. Maybe you have an answer on that. I don't have any idea. But we have to support them. And you're going to see in Capgemini, we have a master DevOps program where we're helping clients to have certification on Terraform, Ansible, Kubernetes, and so on, just to improve them and to support them to focus on their net job and their net way of operating infrastructure in the future. And that's really the human part. I know I saw a presentation this morning about that, the human part, and this is the most challenged cap we have today when we're talking about Fortune company, because they are a pretty huge company, and this is really complex. I'm going to go. I know there are a lot of words, you know, and I've been, as I say, in DevOps for the last more than 10 years. I saw word coming last year's past, and GitOps, and on this slide, I just try to put what we're talking exactly and what kind of technology stack we exactly have when we're talking about those technology. You know, I'm from infrastructure. I'm an infrastructure guy. For the last, I don't know how many years, we could say 40 years, we've been focusing on delivering IaaS infrastructure. It's pretty simple, you know, and when we say we're creating VM and virtualization, the last 10 years, we've been focusing on automation, helping clients to automate through Terraform, Ansible, and try to go further on the way. First, we implementing DevOps on automation way. My first pipeline was with Puppet, you know, some years ago, and we were able, with Puppet and Jenkins, we were able to go from dev to production on any VMs. It wasn't nothing new, you know. And what's the game changer happen? It's if you would like to go on platform as a service. I mean, platform as a service is when you're developing software without any care about what you have behind. It's not your problem. VMs, you don't care about VMs. How many developers today have to care about VMs? All of them, they don't care. And this is, for me, what Kubernetes brings in the market is really the idea you have a stack that make it happen, the PaaS approach, meaning developing software without taking care about the infrastructure. I spent at least 5 or 7 years with OpenStack for those they know, and we fail, and that's really where we are today. You have the GitOps approach, which is only an approach, a methodology, where we try to build platform and automate it. And on top of that, you have continuous delivery tool, like Argo CD, continuous integration tool like JFrog, or GitLab or GitHub. I know they're there. And if you look at now this as a job, if I'm here, I could do this job, I could do this job, maybe I could do this job, but I'm not able to do this job. If I'm here, I'm a dev, I could do this job, I can do this job, I'm not able to do this job. And that's exactly when you're managing a project with many people, you have to take care about exactly what people they can do. And also, we paid for support operation. We have SLA, we have 24/7 support. We have to put on the paper everything we're doing. We're naming Raki, the famous one with Excel documentation. That's exactly what we have. We have no place when you're managing huge infrastructure to say, I'm not sure who's going to do that. And that's exactly what we're doing. I'm going to, through this one, I just want to say, to conclude, on the different stack I just showed you, we choose Kasten by Vim. On particularly because today we have to build DRP plan, we have to build high availability, we have to build 24/7 support with 99.9999 SLA, and to do so you need DRP. You can't do that in a huge company without DRP. Until last year or the year before, more of the project were apps, stateless app, and they never thought about what is the DRP plan, what is the backup plan, how am I going to rebuild. Just to let you know, even when you are on EKS, AKS, on Azure, on GCP, on any platform, you need backup. The native EKS, AKS backup, you have no backup on AKS or EKS or any platform. If you don't build it, you're not going to have it. And that's why it's really important. That's why we're here with Vim and Kasten. I'm good on the time, you think? You have a question? I was pretty fast, but...
Any questions for Jonathan? Thank you. Appreciate the presentation.